Melanie, first of all, welcome, welcome, welcome. You have not been back in over a year. Can you believe that?
Can you believe it? It's
Time
ridiculous.
flies. Time flies, Melanie, but you've been doing so many great things. And tonight's show is all about your fans because they hit us up with all kinds of questions. And my questions have to go out the window because they just asked so many questions and they were really, really great questions, Melanie.
Okay, I'm down.
First of all, Melanie, you've done a lot since the last time you were here. First of all, the MF Life is officially available everywhere. Critical reviews. Hold on. Oh, here we go. People were saying these are some of the reviews of Melanie's the MF Life, her album that's out right now. Fiona is singing up a storm on the MF Life, delivering a welcome big voice to perhaps fulfill the void of recent departures like Whitney Houston and Amy Winehouse. That's what Billboard had to say.
Wow.
LA Times had to say Fiona's voice at times reminiscent of Mariah Carey is fantastic throughout. Mostly junk food said the MF Life is bold, brash, and unapologetic, but it's also her most honest work yet. Fiona is noticeably more vocal and confident in her execution, and she truly lets her pen do the talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And finally, they also at look, these are my sources. NappyAfro.com said,
Amazing.
but look, they had a good review. They said, I fully expect this to be a top 5 album at the end of the year. Melanie managed to set the bar really high for artists this year. Let the MF life begin.
Oh, yes.
Melanie Fiona, you are here. Melanie, let's just jump right on in. Where the hell you been?
Where have I been? I've been everywhere. I'm on the move. It's been a lot of change for me. I've relocated back to the East Coast and been promoting the MF Life since March now,
Wow.
and I've just been blessed to be all over and doing what I love and working and being in Europe at times and just keeping it moving. It's been a beautiful, beautiful journey for me. Of course, filled with lots of highs and lows, and that's really what inspired this album. Just the things that I've experienced, how moments have been so triumphant and other moments have been very challenging, and taking that and putting them into stories about personal and professional things, and having people have a soundtrack to go through their emotions with. That's what this album is about.
What has been the biggest lesson, Melanie? Because you came here on KEMPIRE Radio in the very early part of your career, and now you've come so much further than that. I mean, so many people know who you are. You've had hit singles under your belt, 2 Grammys, two, not one,
Mm.
not nominations, 2 Grammys. Who is Melanie Fiona today compared to the woman that was just starting in this business?
Well, I've definitely become more of a woman, if I can say that, if that's possible. I've grown a lot emotionally and spiritually, and I think the biggest lesson as I've learned is that life is it's unpredictable, and you can set certain expectations for yourself, and you have to kind of realize that not everything is within your control, and it's a very humbling experience to have to allow the universe to guide what is meant for you and just release control. And that's what I really learned. I'm learning that still to this point, but I'm a much stronger woman. I'm a much stronger artist and songwriter, and I've definitely grown into the ownership of who I am, who I've been, and who I see myself becoming. I think it's all about just acknowledging and owning where you're at and who you are.
And like I said, I have a couple of questions, but I'm really focused on your fans that hit us up because they had some really good questions, Melanie.
Okay.
Marisol, the founder of MelanieFionaWorld.com, and
Yes.
check her out there because she has everything on Melanie Fiona.
Everything. Let me tell you, I gotta say, Marisol, she is one amazing person. I mean, she found the Billboard picture before Billboard even released it. I don't even know how she got it. She's on that. So shout out
Definitely
to
on it.
Melanie Fiona World, and it's definitely an amazing site. Thank you so much.
And one of the questions that she had was there ever a time where you wished you could go back to just being regular old Melanie and not Melanie, the famous singer?
Was there ever a time? I've definitely, I think, had those moments when it comes to time, whether it be personal relationships, spending time with my family, missing out on things that are very important to me, like birthdays and special anniversaries and moments and people that I care about life. That I think is the hardest thing. And there are those moments where it's like, oh man, I wish I wasn't, stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and I wish I could be with my family. But, I think that's just a personal struggle. There's really not a day that goes by that I really, wouldn't want to be doing what I'm doing and being who I am. I think that this is just what I've always been destined to be and to be doing. And so, it's just, not doing this would feel weird. Not doing this and not being who I am today and doing what I love would feel, I think more unnatural than natural. So, it's more just an emotional test every now and again, but, I really wouldn't. My family and everybody around me understands and loves me and has supported, this journey that I've been on. So it's never really too much of a struggle because no one really puts the pressure on me to have to choose.
And, if you guys just tuned in, it's two-time Grammy Award winner Melanie Fiona here on KEMPIRE Radio. She has returned after a long hiatus from us, but she's here. And Melanie, we have to talk about the BET performance because we're gonna talk about the Grammy Awards, but we have to talk about the BET performance. Can you just talk about the days leading up to it and then actually performing Wrong Side of a Love Song on that stage?
So there's so many things that led up to that moment that people aren't aware of, and when I mean, even down to the dress I wore. That dress that I wore, I found pretty much, a month and a half prior to the awards being announced, before even knowing I was performing the awards. I saw the dress, and I fell in love with the dress, and I was like, wow, this dress screams Wrong Side of a Love Song to me. And whether I wear it in the video or I wear it to perform the song at some award show or some very large event, at least I have the dress that I feel absolutely embodies the energy of the song. And I got the call a week before the awards, like 2 weeks, maybe like a week and a half. And I felt like it was the moment for this song. I had envisioned this song having a life. I had always envisioned that this would be the song that would kind of introduce me fully as a solo artist and a singer to the world, really, and to the watching audience. And I feel very, passionately about this song. I feel that this is a song that everybody understands and feels because of the emotion that I think it just pulls on you inside. And, when I got the call, I was thrilled, and I really wanted this to be the moment that I had envisioned it to be. And leading up to it, it was just amazing to do rehearsals and be with the band and go through all the designs. I mean, I chose exactly how I wanted that stage to look. I spoke with the production staff. I said I wanted it to be completely isolated about the song, about the vocal, and I want it to be dramatic. And, Stephen Hill was like, I want this to be a live performance. I don't want any track. I don't want any Pro Tools. And what you heard was completely live, all band, all vocals. And, when I watched it back, because in the moment, I just kind of let go and had to be there and just do my best. And when I watched it back, it was exactly what I wanted, exactly how I envisioned it. And, I think it's a true testament to the power of positive thinking and the power of manifesting your dreams and your beliefs, because I did, right down to my label, to my management team, we all carried out the vision, and it happened. And since that performance, it's just changed my whole identity in the industry. Everybody is kind of, I don't know, they all know who I am now, and it's kind of a weird thing for me because it's like that moment that you have as an artist. There are many artists that have those moments where, the world takes a look and pays attention, and that moment for me emotionally and absolutely professionally was definitely that moment for me.
That same night they had the Whitney Houston tribute, and we saw you dancing and enjoying that moment. What was that like, and what has Whitney meant to Melanie Fiona, the singer?
It was a very emotional night. I mean, Whitney, I still sing and cry to Whitney Houston's music. She is the voice that made me want to be a singer. I was singing The Greatest Song of All at 2.5 before I could probably even formulate a proper sentence, but I was doing my best to sing along with Whitney, and she is what I feel to hope to embody one day as a singer and what I can do for people, because there was a truth and an honesty in her voice and her tone and the emotion that she gave you. And it wasn't about anything else. It was about the voice. It was about the song and the emotional connection that she made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Whitney, I think, is the biggest inspiration to me, is that that's all I really hope everybody ever remembers me for, is a voice and, you know, an emotional legacy that people feel that they can go to when they listen to my music. And Whitney is just, she is the voice for me. She is that voice. She is that thing that inspires me in that way. And, you know, to have lost her so suddenly and so tragically, I was devastated. I felt like I had lost somebody I'd known my whole life, and I really went into mourning over it. And, you know, even down to the Grammys, in my Grammy speech, right down to the BET Awards, it was very emotional because I don't feel like I could be doing what I'm doing today if it was not for Whitney and what she's done for me and for music lovers and artists and aspiring singers. I just think that she did that, and it's a huge loss. It's such a huge loss, but I think it's important to celebrate her life and her music and, you know, what she gave to us positively.
Most definitely. You mentioned the Grammys. We have to talk about that because the Grammys, for anyone that's a singer or songwriter, that is the ultimate goal, to win a Grammy award. And Melanie Fiona, so early on in your career, you have two, one for being a singer and one for being a songwriter.
Yes.
What was that moment like when they said Melanie Fiona and CeeLo Green?
You know, I was completely shocked. I was definitely shocked for two of them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. It's like when you get one, it's like, whoa, one, how amazing, and then
Mm-hmm.
two comes up, and it's like your heart stops for a moment, and you're like, is this really happening? And you know, it was a very, very unforgettable moment in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The most things I've ever done, and I've experienced. My entire family was there. My mom, my dad, all my close, you know, management from my production company, Title IX. You know, it was. How can I put it? It's like you instantly go back to being, you know, Melanie, the little girl who sang in her mirror and in her hairbrush, and you think about the fact that there are people in the industry that know your name and supported you and voted for you, and fans who made your music possible and believed in you enough to go purchase and request at radio. And, you know, I don't do this for the recognition on that level. Respect is the ultimate goal, and I think that to gain such an accolade at this point in my career was just such a humbling experience for me, and just, you know, just extremely overwhelming. And to have made music history with someone as cool and talented as CeeLo Green is just, you know, it's like it doesn't get that much better to be a part of such a great duet. And I just love the song.
Yeah.
I believed in this song when I was writing it, when CeeLo asked me to be on it. I believed in it because I just thought it was a great record, and it just became infectious to people. And you know, it's nice. It's so nice. I love it. I finally got them. They finally arrived in the mail after a few months. And, you know, it's such a proud moment for me to know that in all the sacrifice and everything I'm working towards, that, you know, those two little statues keep me company when I'm alone or I'm feeling down, and they keep me motivated to know that I'm on the path of doing something right and the path to greatness. So I just keep it as motivation.
Most definitely. Melanie Fiona, guys, if you just tuned into TKIF here on KEMPIRE Melanie, okay, you had the Grammys, now you did the BT Awards, and now you're going on tour with R&B legends Mary J. Blige and D'Angelo. What?
Yes. Right? I know. It's just, it's so wild for me. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful opportunity, and to be sharing a stage with Mary J. Blige and D'Angelo is just, you know, I mean, gosh, like little old me, and being there to know that Mary, you know, specifically, she reached out, her camp reached out and requested me to be on it, and then D'Angelo joined, knowing, you know, it's just, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited, and I'm so, you know, thankful for the opportunity, and I just can't wait to be out there sharing great music with the fans. And I think this concert series is going to be such a great run for people. We're going to be in all the major cities, and it's going to be a lot of there's our amphitheaters, so they're outside, and there's nothing better than like a summer concert outside, you know, listening to some really great music. I mean, it's good energy all around, and you know, I'm just excited to get back in front of my fans and make new fans. And I'm thankful to be sharing, that Mary and D'Angelo's fans are going to be there experiencing a little bit more about what I do. So it's such a wonderful opportunity.
So you've toured with Kanye West, Alicia Keys, now Mary J. Blige. What can we expect from the new set, the new Melanie Fiona performance for this tour?
I think the new set it's important that people know that this is going to be a different Melanie Fiona. This is going to be, the MF Live Melanie Fiona. I think it's a stronger performance. The songs are stronger. I think people are going to get a little bit more of my personality through these songs, through the wardrobe, through the flow of the show. It's going to be like a real storyteller's experience. And I think that's what I want people to gain from my performance. And I want them to know that, following this tour, I'm going to plan my own headlining tour. And
yes.
I want people, and I want people to, know what the Melanie Fiona experience is and talk about it and share it. And so it becomes a thing that people want to experience because it's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an experience for me and one that I want to share with as many people as possible. So, expect, of course, great live music, great singing, some really cool fashion moments,
mm-hmm.
and just an overall good show. I'm going to be rehearsing with my band. We're starting rehearsal soon. And
when does the tour start?
The tour starts August 18th. We start at Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And then we come back up to New York the next day in Jones Beach, New York. And then we do the whole Northeast, go back down to South, Atlanta, Miami. Then we head west to Houston and then do the LAs and the Vegas and the West Coast. Yeah.
And speaking of one of your big fans here, she wanted to know, Escoterica Perry hit us up, and she sent us some questions about, your tour and your show day routine. She said, when you're on tour, what is a must-have in your dressing room?
Describing my dressing room, incense.
Incense?
Yes, incense is a must-have. I travel so much, and everywhere I think has, its own energy and has its own, quite frankly, smell. And I'm kind of like an aromatherapist. I love incense. I burn it all the time, like it's the oxygen I need in my apartment. So it kind of just brings me to center, and I listen to music and burn my incense, and it kind of just takes me to that place that's very familiar and, calming to me. And that's kind of what I have to have before my shows, just to be in a good space, and incense is good for burning out that energy. So, whatever has been affecting me that day or whatever energy surrounding me that, I don't need to take on stage, because stage is a sanctuary for me, and it's where I'm supposed to have fun and, live and love what I do. Mm-hmm. So, I just try to be in a good, positive space and energy before I hit the stage.
Most definitely. Melanie Fiona, there's so many questions here, but I have to read some stories. Hold on.
Okay.
Some of these, oh, Lord have mercy. So many papers around here, my Lord. Okay. Melanie Fiona, two-time Grammy. See, I have to add that. You know that, Melanie, because once you win Grammys, you have to always mention that when you come on a show.
Listen, I love that introduction. Keep it going.
Two-time Grammy Award winner Melanie Fiona is here. Two-time Grammy Award singer and songwriter Melanie Fiona is here. Shonda Wilson, all the way from California, hit us up. She's definitely a big Melanie Fiona fan. She wrote us. She said, your music in particular has been so instrumental in keeping me going. I've met so many great and amazing people because of our connection with your music. Your fans are truly a reflection of the person you are. We say things with love. We help one another without judgment. We say it like it is, and sometimes like it should be. We are soldiers making our way through tough times with the help of one another. Music is powerful, but the genuine artist who sings and writes the songs that inspire us are what make us powerful. Much love, Shonda.
Wow.
Love it.
Shonda, there's not a moment that I've ever experienced with Shonda where she's not, just her words mean so much, and I appreciate that type of feedback and that type of expression, just because it just makes me feel like that's success to me when I hear that people are being affected in that type of way, and that this music is bringing people together, and it's a real it's a positive thing. It's just what keeps me going, and I think the thing that makes me the happiest is when I hear that, my fans are a reflection of me. I think I have the greatest fans in the world. They are the most amazing people. They're genuine, they're honest, they're intelligent, they're emotional, they're good. They're just good people who who exactly are soldiers just trying to make their way through life and do it by helping everybody that they can. And that is that's inspiring to me. I'm totally inspired by you guys. So thank you, Shonda, and thank you to everybody. It's just, you guys really inspired me to keep being who I am and doing what I do.
Melanie, a big thing that we've been talking about this week, shout out to Gabby Douglas, who won 2 gold Olympic medals in gymnastics this week.
Oh, my goodness. I could have cried watching her.
Teresa Brown, all the way from California, hit us up, and she said, I'm a huge fan of the Olympic Games. As a former athlete, did you ever have Olympic aspirations?
I can't say that I really had Olympic aspirations because I kind of made the decision to take music more seriously than sports. So I kind of knew that I'd be letting go of any sort of, Olympic dreams. But when I was a kid, I loved competitive sports. I loved track meets and cross-country meets and finals, and I lived for the Olympics of elementary school. I did. And so, that spirit and sportsmanship I have inside of me, and even applying that to following through on being a singer and following this dream and working hard for this and training for this, it's such an emotional thing for me to watch the Olympics. I'm like a wreck. I see them win and I see them succeed and have their failures and go through those emotions and their family watching. And I'm a wreck. I'm crying. I'm clapping. I'm like, it's so emotional that, that athlete spirit in me. It never dies. And it's just, it's so emotional to watch somebody go. You know what it is. You just know as somebody who's worked towards a goal. You see it when you see somebody achieve what they're working towards their whole life, and it just hits a chord in me. And I love watching the Olympics. I love watching sports. It's awesome.
Definitely, Melanie. First of all, thank you so much for being here on the show. We're not done. I know you've just been busy performing and stuff, but you haven't been here in a year.
I know.
So we your fans hit us up, asked us so many different questions. So fans, please don't be mad at me if I don't get to everyone's question. Please, I'm trying, but I
don't beat him. Don't beat him up. You can take it up with me.
Oh, there you go.
Hit me up on Twitter, and you can ask me, and I'll do my best to answer as well.
But one of the great questions again from Marisol, if the world weren't listening, if the world were listening, what would you say, Melanie?
I would say love. I would say greet every day with love in your heart. I think that when it really boils down to it, if people just loved a little more, a little harder, I think we would be, free and rid of a lot of the issues that I think we have on personal, professional, global levels. I think it's important to have, that love and forgiveness that comes with love, with the true word of what it means. I just hope that people can operate, or hope, trying to operate on a more of a deeper level of love.
In other news, and I think it came to surprise as everyone, Steve Rifkin has decided to leave SRC. How do you feel about that, and what does that mean for your future at SRC?
So that's the looming question right now. That is the looming question. Steve has been such a gosh, what can I say? The biggest champion for this project for me at Universal. He signed me, he believed in me, he took a chance on me when everyone else was too scared to or wanted to take the chance by changing me. He kept me, he allowed me to be who I am, and I'm so thankful for Steve Rifkin and everything that he's done for me in my career. And I know wherever he goes on to do next will be just as magnificent and amazing. And yeah, it's just a matter of time. Time, I guess, is just going to reveal what's going to happen. But in one way or another, Steve will always be in my corner for sure.
Most definitely. Melanie, first of all, Wrong Side of a Love Song, you performed it on the BET Awards. We talked a little bit about your preparation for that. When can we expect the next single and the video and that kind of thing? Is Wrong Side of the Love Song the next single?
Wrong Side of the Love Song is the next single. Right now, the single that's at radio is This Time with J. Cole. And I'm actually getting ready to work Wrong Side of the Love Song at radio. It's going to be probably a campaign throughout this tour that I'm getting ready to go on. So it's going to be like the It Kills Me of 2012. It's going to take you into those winter months, and it's going to be that good love song you want to listen to when it's cold outside and you're in. And I'm definitely going to be shooting a video. And yeah, it's all happening. It's about to begin.
You know, every first Friday here on the show, we talk about hair. I know I have no hair. Don't judge me. Um,
It's okay. You
we
have beautiful hair.
we ask about hair. We talk about natural living and things of that nature. And our natural living expert, Francesca Medina, wanted me to ask you about your skin regimen because she said you have flawless skin.
Oh my goodness. Um, well, I wouldn't say it's flawless because I've seen myself in the morning first thing, and nothing looks cute in the morning.
Hmm.
I think I've become really diligent about using good products and washing my face and not going to sleep with makeup. I used to be super guilty of that. Go to sleep with makeup, too
Mm.
lazy to take it off. Never had any problems with my skin, so I could get away with it. But it's just not good for your skin. You have to let your skin breathe. And even on a regular basis, when I'm in my everyday life, I don't really wear a lot of makeup. I kind of just use good things that are going to accentuate and make the skin look healthy, like highlighters. Um, but I feel like what's important is you have to know your skin and use the products that work for you. I use like a barrage of different products. I'm not like set to one product. I use from high-end products like Yonka to mid-level like Clinique, right down to Johnson and Johnson's Clean and Clear.
Lord have mercy.
I go right across the spectrum because I've kind of figured out what works for me.
Mm.
And I do tone. Toning is important, and I use eye cream, and I use a different lotion for day and night.
Wow,
I
you
think
got a
that that's
lot of things
important.
going on.
Yeah, I do. It's kind of like I'm a girly girl when it comes to product, and I love being in Sephora, and I'll try anything once. So, it's just about playing with different products and figure out what works for you and what your skin really responds to. And I've noticed a big difference in my skin, especially lately, because I figured out what works. I finally got like the perfect combination.
Mm.
So, you just gotta try things that work for you and figure it out. And be good from the inside out. That's also something else. I've changed my diet in the last few years,
Mm.
which has made a huge difference in my skin, my weight, my hair. And for me, it might not work for everybody, but for me, I've cut down on my meat intake. I don't really eat much meat or seafood anymore, and that's made a huge difference for me.
Really? We were talking
Yeah.
about that earlier, Melanie.
Yeah, it's a choice you have to make, and you kind of have to know. I realized that meat was slowing me down. So it's not because I don't like meat or I have anything against it. It's really just a dietary choice so I can, get through this life that I have to do and this schedule and
This
what I have
MF
to
life.
do in my I got to live the MF life.
Vanessa Byron, calling all the way from Europe, hit us
Oh
up and
my gosh! Hi, Yute.
she hit us up with a question. She said, "If you could duet with any artist, dead or alive, who would they be, and which three songs of yours would you choose?"
Oh my gosh! Duet
Mm-hmm.
with anyone dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, I would have to say Bob Marley.
Mm.
Um, and of my songs,
Yeah.
I think I'd like to do "You Stop My Heart."
Oh.
I would like to do um, "Like I Love You,"
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to do "Ayo" with Bob Marley.
Oh, that would be dope.
Yeah, I mean, there's a version of "Ayo" that's floating around somewhere out there. That's me rapping a bridge, and when I wrote the bridge, I used all Bob Marley songs and melodies to make a bridge medley that was all Bob Marley references. So you see, I always perform it at my shows.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time you hear me do that little rap part in the show, you'll take in that the background vocalists are singing Bob Marley melodies, and I'm using his song titles to get my message across.
Melanie, I'm going to let you go because I know you've had a busy day, a busy schedule, you have busy things coming up.
It's okay. Thank you,
Um,
though. I appreciate it.
but Melanie, we cannot let you go without singing a little something, just a little something.
Ooh, a little something. What do you think the people want to hear?
I mean, I have my own personal choices, but I'm not gonna go there.
Okay, well, I think that you've done a really good job of giving your time to everybody else who had questions. So what do you want to hear, Kev?
um. Oh, can't. Wait, what is it? Can't never say it. What?
Can't say I never loved
There
you?
you go. Got me nervous.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Where? Oh God, I've been singing other songs all day today. Let me see. Um, If my love can't be with you, who in the world can I give it to? Who can I live my life and change the world with? Oh yeah, and if I lie, won't you tell me? 'Cause I can take responsibilities. My pride is all I have. Now how you gonna take it from me? Promises were all I got. It might mean nothing to you, but to me it meant a lot. You said you loved me, but you left. Lord knows I really did my best. I relied on you to do the rest. Can't say I never loved you. And I was giving you me. Open up the possibility. Wouldn't mean to set you free. You can't say I never loved you. Can't say that I never loved you. Loved you. Loved you. Can't say that I never loved you. Loved you. Love you. You can't say that I never loved you. Loved you. I love you. You can't say that I never loved you. Loved you. Love you.
Yes, Melanie Fiona here on Empire Radio's TK. I love. First of all, Melanie, I haven't had a real opportunity to tell you how much I love the MF Life.
Oh, thank you.
That album, I have to say, is the best album of 2012. Best,
Oh my
best.
goodness, thank you so much. Thank you.
And first of all, if you don't have the deluxe iTunes deluxe version, that's the version you need to go get.
Oh,
Go right now.
the deluxe version has some of my favorite songs. What Am I to Do?
Yes, I was gonna
Can't
do
Do
that
This
one,
No
too.
More. Wrong Side. Rock Paper Scissors.
Mm-hmm. Melanie, all of our guests that have been here on the show recently, from Oprah to Whitney, I don't know. Did we have Whitney on the show? No.
I think we've all had an interview with Whitney at a time or another. She's everywhere. She's right here right now.
I met Brandy, but
Oh my gosh! Shout out to Brandy. I just love her so much.
Whitney was here in spirit.
Yes.
We play this game, finish the sentence, and we just want to play this with you before we let you go. Finish the sentence, Melanie. Life is
beautiful.
The world needs
love.
I believe in.
I believe in people.
Love is
everything.
R&B music must
live.
I want to thank
everyone listening, everyone who's ever helped me get to where I am.
The person I most want to be proud of me is
my mom and dad.
I'm ready to forgive.
I'm ready to forgive all those who have wronged me in the past.
I want my legacy to be.
I want my legacy to be one of love and good music.
What makes Melanie Fiona mad?
Ignorance.
Me too, Melanie.
Yes.
What makes Melanie Fiona feel insecure?
What does? You know what? Melanie Fiona makes Melanie Fiona feel insecure. No one else can make you feel insecure, but you can make yourself feel insecure for sure.
What brings you the most joy?
Brings me the most joy, performing.
What word or virtue matters most to you?
Love.
Why?
I feel that it's just the foundation for everything. It's the foundation for everything that's good and bad. And I feel like if we make it more good, it's just things will always be right. They just will, no matter where I'm at, no matter what is plaguing me and where it's at. If I remind myself the place of love and my purpose for what I'm doing, then I get through anything.
Melanie, before we let you go, we had one more letter that I wanted to read to you from Tania. At Sup Tania on Twitter. She said, "For as long as I can remember, music has played a big role in my life, and it was what I turned to regardless of emotion, sad, happy or sad. As I grew older, I began to crave the raw talent that used to be around, no candy coated mess, and Melanie Fiona brought that. She is an independent, strong woman, and that is everything I aspire to be. She is her own business, and I highly respect the amount she contributes to all aspects of her craft. An artist like herself isn't one we come across very often, and with a voice that evokes a strong emotion, she is a force to be reckoned with. Thank you, Melanie, for moving me to tears when needed, drying the same tears when I felt alone, for forcing a smile to my face when I need it most. I know my life isn't the only one you've changed, but I wanted you to know that I appreciate you. You will forever have a fan in me. Love you. Tania.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much.
Melanie Fiona, you already know how much we love you here at KEMPIRE Radio. What should we be on the lookout for? What's coming up? Anything outside of
We've got
music that we should be aware of?
the tour. I've got the tour with Mary J. and D'Angelo starting in actually 3 weeks. And look out for merchandise. I got merchandise coming for you guys. I'm going to be getting those cool MS hats. They are on the way. So you're going to be able to get them at the shows. You're going to be able to get them via the website. They're going to be available. I've just got some really cool ideas fashion-wise that I want to start getting out to people. And functionality for women in fashion. I think that's a big angle for me. And showing girls how to make their money work, how to make your clothes work for you and not you work for your clothes. That's the way it goes.
Most definitely. Melanie Fiona, the MF Life in stores now. New single, Wrong Side of a Love Song, is coming, y'all. Make sure you check that out. Melanie Fiona, we love you here on the show.
Thank you so much. I love you guys, too. Thank you, Kemp. I really just, thank you so much for everything, and congratulations to you for how far you've come. And, I mean, you forget me. You interviewing Oprah now. What? Come on. You big time. Thanks for making time for little old me. I really appreciate it. And
Melanie,
and for those who don't know, Kemp has been a supporter and the pioneer for my career, really, from the beginning. So I just really appreciate you so much. I really do.
Melanie, people don't realize that how much you are part of the reason why this has started.
Oh,
they have no idea. You are pretty much the reason why we started KEMPIRE Radio. I found Melanie Fiona before her album came out here in the United States, and I said, oh, my goodness, she's so amazing. I got to see you perform live several times here in New York, and I said, we need a vehicle to let people know about Melanie Fiona. And I found Blog Talk Radio, started KEMPIRE Radio, and the rest is history.
And the rest is history, and here we are.
So thank you so much, Miss Melanie.
And we'll continue to make history together. I appreciate it.
Most definitely. Melanie Fiona, guys, get the MF Life. Thank you, Melanie. Love ya.
Thanks, Kemp. Love you, too. I'll talk to you soon.
We need to jump into the Watch Me Work, because that's my damn jam right now.
I think in fact, speaking of Watch Me Work, I just recently shot a campaign with Infinity, the cars, and with Sebastian Vettel, who's the #1 Formula Race Car 1 driver in the world, for Formula 1 race car driver, and we shot a video for Watch Me Work. So there's going to be a video coming out for Watch Me Work very, very soon, and expect to see race cars and a live performance, and it's just a very, very strong, badass rock and roll video. So get ready to watch us work.
That song is everywhere. It's also the trailer for Project Runway.
Project Runway, and I always wanted it to be a part of fashion because I felt like that song was great for walking around in heels, 2 snaps, making you feel really sexy and strong. And I'm happy that it's getting that little look that it needs.
And you're making the queens in the gay clubs dance too.
Hey, let's not forget about the boys.
Here's Melanie Fiona's "Watch Me Work" from her new album, The MF Life. Make sure you guys go support it right now. Thanks, Melanie.
Thank you, Kemp. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.